Okay, so we got a new Slate Droid, rooted version 1.9.1 of Donut OS, and firing it up. I'm gonna go ahead and plug in a USB mouse. There's my mouse. Now I didn't get this error yesterday, but then I just installed the overclock application, so it's not a device yet that can be overclocked. So SetupCPU, I guess, went ahead and auto launched itself. That gives you an idea of the desktop. I added a few apps, not too many, mostly browser related. Apktor, real good one if you want to do non-market downloads. It's basically an alternate to the market. Works real good for me. Pretty much I gave up on the market for now, so I use non-market related downloads. I want to show you turning on. I'm going to turn on the swapper file. Which I already loaded the app. It was already rooted, so to run swapper, you want to have a rooted droid. Right here, you just need to turn it on. I'll go through the settings though. Configure, setting, and with this tablet, with this mouse here rotating, it's a little harder, but I put it run swapper at startup, but it doesn't work. I set my size after running some experiments. 128 meg is the fastest to create the ROM, and even with 6 browsers open and 4 or 5 other programs open, I wasn't above 78 meg, so less than 80 meg. So I know that 128 meg is plenty for what I'm doing so far. It's got the option to go to 256. Your swappiness is how often you want to go back and forth, or how often you want it to use it. I set mine to 100 because my microsd card is fast enough, or is fast, so it's not going to have a problem keeping up and assisting and doing the job. Swap file usage, there's a watch your timer, so you got an idea how long. It should be around 35 seconds. Swap file usage on a PC is not good because most of the time your spinning hard drives are nowhere near as fast as your RAM. This one is going from basically memory to memory, or RAM to RAM, because microsd memory is actually pretty fast, or at least the ones I got lucky and bought. I'm running an 8 gig card that is benching about 30 meg a second, which is, and it's a class 2. That's the better thing. I got a great deal on it. There it is, all done. Go back to my home, and anytime you want to verify that your free is actually up and running, you open up your terminal. So I'm using Better Terminal Emulator Magic, and type in the word free, F-R-E-E, F-R-E-E, and in kilobytes it'll tell you. So right now it says I have 130.65 kilobytes, which would be the center one labeled swap. As you start using up, then your use right now saying I'm at 244, so basically I'm not using my swap file yet, which is good, because swap is not as fast as the RAM, but it's pretty good. So swap is up and running. Slide over to my other screen. There's the YouTube app that's included with it, which the most exciting part of this ROM upgrade is that Eken manufacturer himself actually released this update and released a YouTube that works on it. Prior YouTube required low res setting to get it to work, and of course nobody's impressed because YouTube low res looks not nice at best. So we'll go with something that should be a clean video. Let me look at the BYU largest balloon fight, see how that one looks. And like I said, this is an 8-inch tablet. A lot of motion, a lot of movement, so that gives you an idea that it's not at low res. This is at least at normal resolution. Let me slide our mouse out of the way. So there, at least you can see a pixelation, or some, which is actually pretty good under control, considering someone's recording this with a camcorder. So and I'll click on most viewed and just give you an idea of what reaction time is. It didn't seem to speed up a lot on the web browser side, but obviously being able to watch YouTube videos now. And like I said, I like the 8-inch screen. This is actually a 600 by 800 resolution, which is a better viewing resolution for books. And most YouTube videos that are loaded are not uploaded at 16 by 9 or with your high def TV. So I think this is a little better for viewing. This tablet's better for viewing, in my opinion, than your 7-inch tablets, which run at 800 by 480. This is a longer video, 6-minute video. If you haven't seen this guy's hilarious. Let that run for a while. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to test out a hub and see how the hub does on the system. My other hub worked fine. These are non-powered hubs. Obviously with a powered hub, that means you got to have a power source. I also like the idea of taking one of these, dropping rechargeable batteries, because if you put 8 of them in there, you're going to have 9.6 volts. So 9.6 volts is good enough. Right click. Nope. You see no menu bar letting you know your volume set up, but one of these were rechargeable nickel metal hydride batteries. Those batteries are less than $2 each. You actually only need 6 of them to run the Slate Droid, but if you use 8 of them, it'll give you over 9.6 volts, which would be enough to charge the system. If you run 6 of them, you're only going to get 7.2 volts. 7.2 volts is not enough to charge the system, it's just enough to actually run the system. I've actually ran the Eken off of 6 volts, but usually with a 6 volt system, once it gets running, it drops below 6 and it actually shuts down. Another mod I'm considering is I have an old laptop, a broken laptop, and what I did is I took the internal speakers out of it. So I'd like to slap these speakers onto my mod somewhere. I haven't figured out where yet, but these speakers into a case or a housing for the Slate Droid. Alright, while that's running, I'm actually going to go ahead and unplug the mouse, just so you have an idea what happens when you do too many things at once. I'm going to plug in my hub, and I'm going to plug my mouse back in and see if the mouse still works. And again, I'm leaving multitasking. I like to beat up on the system. I have the light going on the mouse. Is my mouse working? Pause. Play. So actually, you see, it's pretty good reaction time on that. Alright, so while that's running, I'm going to take my micro SD card with the reader, and I'm going to plug this into the hub also. And see what it does. This one has a light also. The light lights up there, so that tells me it's reading it. Up there it says preparing U-disk. So now through the hub, I should have my U-disk. Clicked on that, and these are the items that are actually on my U-disk. This is the one I'm using. My script folder is the one that actually I've loaded up this new ROM with. So anytime, as you can see on my boot disk, on my ROM disk I use, anytime when I put a new Slate Droid ROM, this is actually the same memory card I use on my digital camera. I've used this memory card on a Kodak digital camera I have. There's photos still on it. So actually I bounced this memory card off everything. I dropped some extra apps. What I don't like about the built-in, I don't like this. I like to be able to read the whole description of what it says. The Swapper app is the one that allows me to continue to use this. ES or Strong File Manager It works good for backing up files, but I haven't figured out how to restore it without clicking each one at one time. I already have Google Voice, so the Astro File Manager actually does a real good job, because I've actually got it to I've got an Astro File Manager to restore in sequence, meaning I click on one file and it continues to restore the rest of them. So I thought that was a good deal. On my SD card, actually, I did a backup on the microsd card that's in here using Astro, and I did one using E-Strong just to compare the two. Both of them put all the applications on the memory card. Only Astro does restore on each one, continuous. Alright, and the YouTube app you can download when you download your ROM includes these three, but the one that's on Slate Droid that's rooted already has these integrated to it, so you have YouTube on your screen, and the YouTube on your screen actually does work for on your desktop. Alright, I'm going to take a pause on this one. Again, YouTube working on the Eken M003.